Now, there's a separate penalty under 6721 and 6722. Now, these penalties are basically penalties for not filing and furnishing accurate and complete and timely schedules. There's the 1094C schedules and the 1095C schedules. The 1095C schedules are the ones that are supposed to go to every applicable employee. Those are supposed to be furnished with the employee, delivered to the employee, and also filed with the IRS. The 6721 penalty is the penalty associated with not timely filing correct and complete schedules. The 6722 penalty is the penalty for not furnishing to the applicable employees complete and timely and accurate forms. So basically, the penalty is a twofer, because there's a penalty associated with 6721, there's a penalty associated with 6722, and for example, if you didn't create a 1095C schedule for a given employee, you've not furnished it, you've not filed it, you're going to get tagged double the amount of the penalty. So what the IRS has been doing with regard to these 6721 and 6722 penalties, and they just started coming out. We've seen these letters, IRS letter 5005A with an attached form 886A. There's no good abbreviation for that. But anyway, this penalty letter basically assesses the penalties, the 6721 and 6722 penalties, based on the failure to file anything. What typically happened is that the employer got a letter, like a precursor letter, which was a letter 5699, basically saying, are you an ALE? And there are some employers that just ignored it. And if you ignored it and didn't respond and provide the information requested in that 5699 letter, the IRS would follow up with this 5005A letter. And that 5005A letter assesses penalties based on the number of W-2s. And most employers, you don't have, not every employee that you have worked all 12 months of the year, and you will typically have more W-2 employees for a given year than, say, the average number of active employees for the year. So what you see is you see an overinflation of the penalty. So the IRS has the data to, through the W-2 reporting, they know what an employer's W-2 is. They may or may not know your full-time count, and if you didn't file the 1094, 1095 schedules, the IRS wouldn't know that per se. So what they do is they use the W-2 number as a proxy, and it tends to overinflate the penalties. And for these kind of penalties, we've also seen penalties in the millions of dollars. And as I said, if you didn't prepare them, you're going to get tagged both for the failure to file and for the failure to furnish. So you're talking about double the penalty. Next slide. Okay, so this is what a typical 5005/886A letter. So it tells you what schedules they were expecting you to provide, and they're assuming you're an ALE because you didn't respond to the letter that asked whether you were an ALE. And mind you, that letter where they asked you if you were an ALE, they want you to prove it. So let's say you didn't respond. Well, now here's a letter saying we're just assuming you're an ALE because you didn't respond. And this is the penalties. And if you look over at the right-hand corner under government position, you see IRC 6721, IRC 6722. They basically double the penalty, the failure to file and the failure to furnish. So if you didn't file a 1095C, for example, you get double the penalties.